Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. And in today's video, I want to talk about mythical champions and why. If you remember from my last video, I did some shard pulling for primals. I did not get lucky with the 2x, which is actually, as of recording anyways, still running right now. But, this is a big but. I do want to say that I went in and I pulled 3 more primal shards off camera and I got myself a mythical. So for those 3 shards that I pulled, I mean, that's shocking, right? For me, that my luck was that good for only 3, and I think I pulled 13 or so in the previous video. So in this video, I want to kind of do a little bit of a brief overview for maybe some of you that might have pulled mythicals, or just kind of talk about them more broadly. Again, I'm less than 2 months into the game, but the amount of places that I've begun to be able to use this character in is nothing short of amazing. That's probably no surprise, and I'm sure some people don't like actually hearing this because I know the drop rates for mythicals are not good, but I just want to go over it anyways here in today's video. And if you find any of this stuff helpful, then make sure that you click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell for all things Raid Shadow Legends on the Boilon channel. And if you haven't started playing Raid yet, then now is the best time because I have 2 different new player links for you to start your game off. The first one being the epic orc champion Zargala, a great attacker hero, and the second one is also going to be for Rector Drath, an amazing support character who will greatly help your gameplay, but you can only choose one. The QR code in the top right hand of the screen will get you Zargala, but there are links in the description below for both her or Rector Drath. And to sweeten the deal, you will also get yourself a free Ugo at account level 15, one of the best epic heroes in the game. And that's not all, because if you use the promo code Monkey King within the first 24 hours of your account, then you can get yourself a free legendary Sun Wukong, an amazing addition to your roster, and will help you blow past the competition. So, what are you waiting for? And I just want to say that even since my video that I did the other day, they've been chucking more and more of these Primal Shard offers at us, these anniversary related. Some of them are very similar, and some of them, I'll be honest, are very tempting for other things that I need, because since I pulled a mythical, which we'll get into here, they're also starting to offer me anniversary mythical tombs, right? So there is, where was it? There this one here. 3 mythical skill tombs for 28 Canadian, which I think is $20 US. I think that's a $20 US offer. So that's this one's pretty tempting. Actually has a purchase limit of 2. And I think that if you were someone that had bought if someone who had pulled a mythical champion, then this is something definitely I would look out for. I don't know if all the mythicals require the same amount of books, but this is something that, especially right now, right, that you're going to get this for a pretty significant value. I think the anchor pricing for Canadian for me, I believe it's like $15 for 1 book for mythicals, but I don't see it very often because you can't just, I don't think you can just buy them, or you can buy them on, oh, it's way worse. It's 35 Canadian if you just want to buy it straight from the bank tab. So that that tells you something, that, for less than that, I'm getting 3. We're gonna hold off, but this is very tempting that I might buy one of these. I want to take a look and share with you guys. Yeah, it's showing me again because they really want me to buy it. So Commodus Dark Smile is the mythical that I ended up pulling for my account. I raced to get him up to level 60. I raced to farm Magic Keep so that I could get him ascended to 6 purple. That took quite a while because the total amount of resources that I needed to ascend him for mythicals was even higher than a legendary. So this took me a bit of time. I kind of geared him out with some bolster, and I managed to find myself a 5-star speed boots. Now, I don't have, all the gear in the world, right? So if you're a veteran watching this, keep in mind that I'm still less than 2 months in. So I had to make do with what I had, which is like cobbling together some gear. So it's not the best, but you can see some of his stats here below. I've managed to get him to about 222 speed. Again, not the best in the world. I'm sure veterans have like close to 300 at this point, but do keep that into a little bit of perspective too. Now, I want to go over his kit a little bit because he is what I found anyways, and I don't know if this is the same with all mythical characters. If you have one, let me know in the comments down below how you feel about this. But it feels that each different form has kind of like a different role, that they can. It's almost like 2 characters in one, right? So the kit for Commodus in his main form is imp form. He's like an imp, I guess, like a giant imp. His A1 has a decreased defense up to 20%, which is really good. It's like that cruelty blessing, from the epics, but it's on the basic. It also steals 10% turn meter per hit, so 20% up to. Of course, this needs to pass a accuracy check, but this shouldn't be a problem because you should be gearing him that way. Anyways, and all of his skills are based on his HP. The damage is based on his HP, which is amazing. Because I'm just trying to just stack up HP and then have the necessary accuracy to be able to land these things. So really good A1. His A2, I'm using him as a wave, not a wave clearer, but like, you know, to do Doom Tower hard mode right now because I'm finding that more difficult, that I need to have he places an AoE block active skills for 2 turns. Really good. And then it steals 20% for every person that I landed the block active skills for. So accuracy is really important to make sure I have this on him, right? But it's also really good for where I use them in certain dungeon waves, and then Doom Tower waves, and Cursed City where I can use them, those kinds of things. Like I'm getting a lot of value out of him. But he is a primary, from my understanding, he's primarily a arena champion, though. Like you're going to find a lot of use of him there. But outside of that, you're going to use him in a lot of other places too. I actually used him to help kill Bommel. I hate Bommel in the Doom Tower, by the way. Thief of Joy is A3, attacks one enemy, steals 100% of the target's turn meter. So this is like a little bit of Geomancer here, or other Cold Heart characters who can steal 100% of turn meter. This is really, really good. And puts the target skills on cooldown. Now, this is less relevant because you can't do that on bosses, but you can still steal turn meter on bosses. And then the transformation ability, of course, and his passive, when he loses 30% or more in a single turn, probably why this is good in arena, deal damage equal to 30% back to the enemy, which is really, really good. And then he gains shield equal to 30% of his max HP as well. So this can happen more, I mean, like more than once per battle, right? Just as it says, you can only curse once per turn. So if he keeps going up and then he goes down, right? If you're keeping him in this form. Now his alternate form, again, I love mythicals because they have this transformation thing here, just super sweet. There's like 1 or 2 per faction, right? I guess I got kind of lucky here. There probably could have been better ones that I could have pulled, but you know, I'm not at all going to scoff at any mythical pulls because I've heard that some veteran players don't even have one because they only come from primal shards, which are limited in the game in terms of like a weekly, monthly basis if you're not spending, right? It seems that obviously the easiest way to get primal shards is through spending. There are some free to play, but it's just not as prevalent. His A1, which is like, it's all to do with bombs. His transformation form is all to do with bombs. So he has a 50% chance of placing bomb debuffs. He chucks it twice and then heals him for 10% for each time he lands a bomb debuff. I want to actually skip to his passive because this is crazy. Has a 100% chance to reflect all bomb debuffs. So that's why I used him in Bommel, which is really, really good. Also has a 30% chance to reflect all other debuffs placed on this champion back to an attacker. So it's only 30%, unfortunately. But during Bommel, because Bommel does place a lot of other debuffs too. And then heals 20% max HP whenever an enemy is killed by a bomb. So typically when I'm going to kill him, I guess, that kind of thing. His A2, Explosive Showstopper, attack all enemies, place 2 bomb debuffs on all enemies for 2 turns, instantly detonates all bombs on the enemies with Stone Skin buffs, or enemies whose HP is less than this champion's HP. So ideally, I want to stack my character's HP so that when I use this skill, it instantly detonates on, especially in arena, right, where the enemies have less HP than me. That's a little bit tough. I don't have red stars on him, right? That's going to be another big challenge that I'm going to have to be able to find him when I do a red star opening. Maybe I hope for the best that he might show up because you can't feature them in the Altar of Souls. So that's a little bit of a problem there. And it can stun. And then you might actually do this before this, which is a bit of a weird, the A3, which is kind of a weird order because this heals him for 50%, but then it also places a 25% weaken debuff on all enemies. So it kind of seemed, and a free turn. It seems like you want to do this and then do the AoE bomb, but like the heal is something you kind of want to like keep in the wing, right? But I don't know, it's weird. I guess maybe later on, if the battle takes that long, then you can use it again. But it feels like you kind of want to lead in with this one to the AoE. That's kind of how I've been running it there. So that's that. I just want to talk more broadly about mythicals because I started looking at it once I pulled one. I'm like, they're pretty cool. Like the reason why I think they're really cool is because like they're like 2 characters in one, right? No matter which one you're looking at for which faction, they're 2 in 1, and I think it's really cool. I noticed the difference. I don't know who's the best, right? I haven't been except for him apparently support on 2 forms, but I just love the transformation. Raid's done an absolutely stellar job with the artwork, with the animation. I see this guy a lot in arena. He f's me up in like one hit. So he's got some sort of AoE. I think I don't know which is the Seraphic wave because I've definitely been hit by that for sure. Is he support in both forms? Because I feel like no, he's attack and support. Yeah, so I mean that's the great thing is that you can utilize them in different ways for different things, right? So it is pretty much like having two different characters just in one character, depending on what content that you're trying to run. I don't know when they first came out, right? Like I would love to know for anyone who watches my videos who have played Raid for a while, who was the first mythical and when did they first start coming out? Because I'm just kind of curious, how well they hold up now, right? Like I don't know in what order they were released. I wish there was is there a timeline of where I can see champion releases? I would love to know information like that. I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to that kind of stuff, timelines and character releases and keeping track of those kinds of things. They're just so cool, right? And I know what a lot of you are thinking. It's like, I wish I had one, or it's not easy, right? I'll admit that. But there are some that are free to play. And I wanted to bring that up, that there are some free to play mythicals that you can get, right? Which I started to get in my fusion as well, or not fusion, fragment summon, right? So Empress you can get for free by competing or just participating in Chimera every week. Now it's a slow grind, right? I'm at 7 out of 100, so that's 3 weeks now. But I actually got a lot luckier this week. I think I got 3 or 4 shards this week. So, as you kind of climb up your progression in Chimera, you're going to see more of these sorts of things. And Empress is for Knight's Revenant, I think. So he's a support in his main form. And then he's an HP in his second form. I don't really know all the things that he does. He looks badass. I actually really love this. Is giving me some Silent Hill vibes right now, or Soul Calibur. What was the Soul Calibur sword that used to be like demonized and things like that? That's the kind of vibes I'm getting from this character. And he is absolutely available free to play. Now, is it fast? No. But I like the fact that they give you those sorts of options. The other one that I found, I think, is going to be the one from Cursed City, right? Now, I'm far from being able to get this, but if you go into hard mode, you may have seen this guy around. I imagine that this is very difficult until you're a veteran player because you need to, do Cursed City nodes on hard to build up enough candles to get him. Cursed City resets once a month, right? And so you get Carnage, the Anarch, which is also Demon Spawn, which is funny because mine is Demon Spawn. But again, so there's two. That's as far as I'm aware. Is there any others? I'm not sure. These are the only two that I noticed that were completely free to play available that you can build up to. Obviously, it's not going to be fast by any means at all, but I still think it's really nice. One thing that I didn't actually touch on is I was talking about mythical skill teams. And so what's interesting here is that each form has upgrades. But for me, and I don't know if this is for all mythicals, that the upgrades are a little bit different. Like mine is less about cooldown reduction and more about damage and ignore resist. So 10% damage, 20% ignore resist, damage, ignore resist by 20%, which is a fair bit, I guess. Damage, ignore resist, and one thing on cooldown. This would be really nice because this is the full turn meter steal. So if I'm using them in dungeons where you can cheese it by stealing turn meter, this would be really important. So this is a total of 7 books on this form. And then on the alternate form, it looks to be 5. So 2, 2, and 1. So once again, it's all about ignore resistance, and these two have plus 20% damage each. So that's a total of 12 mythical books that I would need to max this character out. Now, I don't like the costs on the... we talked about buying them, right? We talked about buying them. And I do not like the anchor pricing of the base ones. I think that they're gonna get me because there's this one here for 28. There's also, I think there was I don't want to go up. I don't want to buy primal shards right now. So that's not something that I'm going to be doing. There is, was it here? No, I don't know. There was another one before. They keep popping up, right? And I think there's going to be more and more because this is just we're still in week 1. We haven't even started week 2 yet. So I imagine that they're going to be chucking out these kind of packs at us every single week. I don't know if they're necessarily going to get better. Maybe they will. Maybe I'll regret this. But I think that because I need so many and I really want to put it into my first form. So I've been using Commodus a lot more in his base form, in his support form, which is where I'm using him in Arena as well. I want to get some ignore resist. Actually would be really nice on some of those skills there. So I'm going to go ahead and buy one of these. Maybe later in the anniversary, there might be more showing up that might give me some combo packs for mythical skill teams and other things. But for now, because this is like I'm getting 2 for free, essentially, I'm going to pick up this one pack here too. And if you guys picked up any mythicals at all in your previous pulls from Primal Shards during the 2X, then this might be a good idea for you, or to look out for other related anniversary packs that have mythical skill tunes that might be good value for you too. Let's pick that up so it can go into cooldown. And I think that's going to be about it. Let me know in the comments down below, though, if you ended up picking up any mythicals from your primals, if you decided to go in on that during the 2x, which I think is still going on as of recording this video. But let me know anyways. So that's going to be it for now. And before we end the video, I do want to mention that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, you can download using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen to get yourself into free Epic Zargala. Also, there is an alternative if you do want to get Rector Drath. There will be 2 links in the description down below, one for Zargala, one for Rector Drath. Now, both of these links do also come with a free Epic Ugo, one of the best characters in the game. You'll get them from account level 15. And don't forget that there is also the promo code Monkey King, which you can get yourself a free Sun Wukong. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.